Hey railroaders, we know the arguments against labor unions. You've all heard them. I'm a hard worker. I don't need a union. They look out for lazy, bad employees. Union reps do nothing but collect their salaries I pay for. I don't need a union to negotiate a contract for me. The railroads would pay me the same amount or more without a contract. When you hear it enough, do we start asking ourselves questions? Why am I paying dues? What does the union do for me? The railroad knows I'm a good employee and values my work. The railroad would offer me the same pay and benefits without a union. Let's look at some facts about railroad labor unions. Workers without unions are called at-will employees and can be fired for just about anything with little or no recourse. They can be fired because the boss doesn't like them, fired because they didn't kiss up to the boss, fired because they questioned or refused to do something unsafe, fired for speaking up, or even for no particular reason. In a union, you have due process, and nearly all railroad labor agreements have a discipline rule. These discipline rules provide for representation in an investigation up to and including an arbitration hearing. Simply put, the railroad has to prove you did something wrong to uphold any discipline, including termination. Have you ever wondered what your union dues are used for? Let's look at a few of the basics. Regular union meetings are your opportunity to be involved. This is where you learn what's going on in your workplace and a chance to speak out about work and union matters. When you attend local meetings, you become aware of local issues as well as national issues impacting our union and how our union is working through them. Just showing up promotes solidarity and strength. The knowledge you take with you makes it grow. You have the right to dispute discipline under your union contract. A representative defends you if the railroad accuses you of doing something wrong. A non-union worker does not have the ability to have someone represent them. In fact, there is no investigation required at any point. What the company says goes. When the railroad owes you overtime, expenses, time off, or one of the many things afforded in your agreement, you have an avenue to get what you're entitled to. This process includes the ability to take your dispute to an arbitrator. Non-union workers do not have this process and are at the mercy of the company in a dispute. Union workers work under an agreement that regulates the railroad's power over you. Railroads can't change your pay rate, healthcare benefits, reduce your work week, or give your job to someone else unless it is negotiated with the union. Non-union workers do not have an agreement and can have their pay and healthcare benefits reduced, be forced to take days off without pay, and can be replaced without any say in what happens. Did you know that in nearly all contract negotiations, you decide to accept or reject the contract offer? Your union has the ability to fight against unsafe conditions and job cuts through a voice in the regulatory process and on Capitol Hill. If the railroads attempt to weaken life-saving regulations and laws to increase profits rather than to protect their employees, we have a voice politically and in the regulatory arena to push back against those efforts. Examples of union political and regulatory work includes two-man crew requirements, life-saving crossing regulations, human track inspections, roadway worker regulations, hours of service laws, and even making sure you have proper PPE available and enhanced sickness and unemployment benefits during the pandemic. We must continue our fight to keep our laws and regulations in place. The railroads remain committed to weakening or eliminating them in the name of corporate profits. Unions established and still protect our retirement system. Rail unions fought for the railroad retirement system in the 1930s to protect railroad worker pensions due to the unreliableness of the railroad industry's private pension plans. Since then, rail labor continues to protect our pension system from countless and continued attacks. Rail labor leads this effort. We educate and fight back legislatively to preserve and protect our retirement system. Union workers have higher wages, including equal pay for equal work, better benefits, better health care, safer working conditions, railroad retirement benefits, seniority, improved job security, paid vacations, more paid holidays, and agreement protection against abuse. Your union has fought for decades to give you a voice in the workplace and power on the job. You do not have to beg the boss to get a raise or ask for forgiveness if he doesn't like you. You are protected by a legal union contract that cannot be changed unless you, the members, ratify a new agreement. Working together and speaking in a collective voice to make a respectable living in a safe workplace is what being in a union is all about.